All right, what do you want? What are you doing out here? Oh, yes. I knew it would be you. I knew you couldn't stay away, but what you're doing is very foolish. It won't help matters. Can't you understand that? You should have stayed in Switzerland.
No, it was more than once, come to think of it. I'm almost sure. I saw her watching the house yesterday or the day before.
Mm-hmm. But you can't describe her.
I have described her. I told you. She was dressed in black, including a black veil. So naturally, I couldn't see her face.
That's a funny kind of an outfit for a prowler.
What do prowlers wear? Leotards? Excuse me. Whitney residence. Oh, hello, Mrs. Whitney.
Hello, Nora. Do you have any messages for me?
No, I don't.
Nobody called?
Not really. But, well, there's a police officer here.
The police? Oh, no. Now what?
I called them myself. I thought it would be...
Excuse me. May I? Hello, Mrs. Whitney. It's Spencer.
Spencer, what is going on?
It's nothing to be alarmed about. One of those curiosity seekers got onto the grounds and was trying to catch a glimpse of the famous Mrs. Whitney.
Well, I hope the police arrested him.
There was no need for that. I just went out there and politely asked her to leave. She was absolutely harmless.
She didn't look harmless to me. Tell her what she was wearing.
Well, Nora thinks there was something menacing about her simply because she was wearing black.
Black?
Tell her about the veil.
I think I can explain the costume. The woman wasn't in full possession of her faculties, to put it politely.
Oh, good Lord.
Not dangerous, I can tell you that, Mrs. Whitney. She was just dressed up as one of Mr. Whitney's mourners, if you can believe that.
Right. I've heard of people like that. You know, they dress all in black, then they go to other people's funerals. Well, I certainly hope everything's all right now.
Everything is perfectly fine. Yes, we'll expect you then. Goodbye.
So, everything's fine, which means I can leave.
Very sorry to have troubled you, officer.
You really enjoyed that, didn't you? Making a fool out of me.
You do that well enough on your own, Nora.
Listen, did you really talk to her or are you putting on an act?
I talked to her, just as I said. She's harmless. I'm sure she's not coming back.
Raven, don't look so downright miserable. I thought you loved shopping better than anything.
Well, I do, but not for mourning clothes.
As I told you before we left, it seemed to me you had more than enough to wear.
I can never have enough.
Mrs. Whitney, I found the two Paris originals I told you about. Actually, one of them turns out to be Italian.
They look exactly the same. Every black dress I look at looks exactly the same. I hate black! I hate it!
I don't think there's any particular law about this sort of thing. I mean, it seems to me that a discreet little dress of brown or gray or some other subdued color wouldn't raise a single eyebrow.
I know, but I like this one. I want to be able to wear this tonight.
I wouldn't go to the extreme if I were you, Raven.
I am just sick and tired of being in mourning. I feel like I'm the one who's dead and buried.
Now, my dear girl, I am sure that within a very few weeks...
I don't think I can wait a few weeks. I have an idea. What if I went somewhere on a vacation? Somewhere where no one knows I'm a widow.
Tyler.
Yeah.
Listen, I got some bad news. I thought you'd want to hear about it first since you worked so hard on this case.
I work hard on every case. Which one was it?
You worked especially hard on this case. In fact, you donated a pint of blood toward its completion.
Not the Lorimer case.
That's the one. I know it's so tough. You take your life into your hands to go undercover to nail a guy like Lorimer, and what happens?
Are you telling me that case fell through?
That's just what I'm telling you. Here, read paragraph 2.
Unintelligible tapes? Are you serious? Those tapes were so good we could have made an LP out of them and sold 1 million copies.
Yeah, well, by the time they got into court, they were just unintelligible nonsense.
Well, somebody tampered with the tapes.
That's what I said, too. But those tapes were in a lot of people's hands after they left my office.
Well, what about the transcripts? I made those depositions myself. Why didn't they call me to New York to testify?
Because they didn't want you. Your deposition was declared inadmissible.
Well, Eddie Lorimer must have one hell of a lawyer, and that's all I have to say.
He does. Supplied to him by Joe Constantine.
Is that a name I should know?
Not necessarily. He's a crime boss in the East, an old pal of Lorimer's. Lorimer is certainly well connected.
Well, I'd like to see Eddie Lorimer connected to a jail cell for about 25 years.
All right, take it easy. Don't let it get to you. Best thing for frustration is just more work.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Well, from what I hear from Anderson, you're going to have a lot more work. You're taking over Galvin's caseload?
Yeah, I am.
What is this all about? How come he all of a sudden needed a week's leave?
Well, he's got some personal problems to take care of.
You see where he was going?
Yeah, he's going to New York.
Isn't his wife in New York doing a Broadway musical?
Well, that's the problem he's got to take care of, Chief.
But she was just here in Monticello.
Well, now he's going to spend some time on her turf. I mean, fair is fair, right?
I'm getting the impression from all this jockeying back and forth that maybe there's a crisis.
Yeah, there is. Apparently the separation has caused a lot of problems between them, and they're just trying to work it out.
Nothing will tear you apart worse than problems with your woman, huh?
Yeah, well, you know what they say. The best cure for frustration is a lot of hard work.
I think I said that. All right, Tyler. I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir.
Or is there a cure at all?
Hello, Daddy. Come in.
Oh, hello, Jinx.
Oh, judging from your suitcase, you've come to say goodbye.
Yes, that's why I'm here. But I won't go if you need me. You just say the word.
Fine, Daddy. Honestly, I am. There's not a reason in the world you have to worry. Please, sit down.
Is that so? You know, it was just a few days ago that I found you in this apartment. You and an empty bottle of pills.
Oh, please don't say that. Don't even talk about that. That was a different person altogether.
I wonder if people can change that quickly.
Life changes people. Very quickly. Anyway, Daddy, I'm feeling much better now. Of course, I don't think I would have if you hadn't decided to come to my wedding.
Yes, your wedding.
Oh, now, don't look so miserable. You know what we both said. The reason that people cry at weddings is because they know how badly it'll probably turn out.
Well, at least I know by experience. You don't.
Oh, who needs a rotten experience?
I still wish I could have met this man you were going to marry.
Why? I don't think it would have made either of you very happy.
I just can't help but feel that there's more to this breakup than you've told me.
Believe me, Daddy, it's, simply that I didn't want to marry Derek, nice as he is.
It's as simple as that? You don't love him?
Yes, that's right. It's as simple as that.
I don't believe you.
Why not?
Well, I'm not sure, but every time you talk about him, mention his name, there's something in your eyes. But it's your feelings. You have to judge. As long as you're sure.
I am sure, Daddy. I want something more than marriage.
Yes, that star on your dressing room door, right? You've wanted that for as long as I can remember.
Yes, and that has avoided me for as long as I can remember.
And now?
Oh, and now it's going to happen.
You sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure it's going to happen now. As a matter of fact, you better plan a trip back here very soon for the opening at the Whitney Theater.
You just let me know when.
Well, you may not see me in a wedding dress, but I'm sure that you'll see me center stage with lights shining on me.
I'll be here, Jinx.
Daddy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I must say, I don't think it's a bad idea. As a matter of fact, I think I've mentioned before that I thought you should take some time and get away and get some rest.
Yeah, someplace warm and tropical. And I look so good in stripes.
Is that why you want to get away, so you can wear that dress?
Well, I can't wear it in Monticello, at least not for a couple of months. What would people say?
Here, Mrs. Whitney. All set to go.
Thank you. What do you think about that dress, say, in the Caribbean?
Raven, I do think we should be going.
I mean, it would just be perfect for, like, a special occasion, like the theater. Speaking of the theater, I wonder if they've started rehearsals yet.
Who?
Those people that I let use the Whitney Theater. You know, really, I should go over there and take a look. It's not very far. You want to go with me? Why don't you send this and that to the Whitney Mansion?
Yeah, Barbara. Yeah, of course. Send him right in. What? Yeah, sure, you can leave. Yeah, I'll see you in the morning. Goodbye.
Miles, look, I'm sorry to do this to you, but your nurse said you didn't have a patient.
Don't apologize. Always glad to see you.
This is a medical visit. I was thinking that maybe you could help me.
Name it.
Well, I haven't been sleeping too well lately. That's an understatement. I haven't been sleeping at all.
I see.
And I was thinking that maybe you could give me some kind of a magic potion, you know? Look, you know I'm not a pill taker.
No, I know.
I just need a mild sedative to help me, to help me. You know, I'm not at my best when I'm like this, and you wouldn't want to be responsible for a new crime wave, would you?
Look, I'd rather not do this, Derek. I just don't think your effectiveness would be improved by it, and I don't want you to get started on that stuff.
Should have known you'd fight me on this.
Look, I know that you got a lot on your mind. Why don't you try not taking those things to bed? Instead, try a little light exercise before you go to sleep. Maybe a glass of hot milk, get a nice boring book, read it until your eyelids get heavy. It's much more effective than pills.
All right. I should have known better than to ask a friend for medical advice. I should have found a doctor who didn't know me.
Just going to take a little time, that's all, till you can sleep easier.
Till I can just forget about what's happening to me, huh?
I'm sorry. There was nobody outside, and
Well,
Derek.
Look, were you here to see Miles alone?
No. It's all right. I'm not sick. I just wanted to say hello.
Come on in.
Well, look, I can see you're busy.
No, my business with Miles is through.
I just felt the need for a little company. My father just left town.
Yes, I know. Called me a little while ago.
Oh, I didn't know that. What did he say?
Oh, he just wanted to know if I thought you'd be all right if he went back home, went about his business. I told him I thought so, yes. I also said I thought that his visit had done you a world of good.
Yes, you might say he saved my life. Well, look, if you're both busy, I'll go.
No, listen, you're not going to go on my account. I was about ready to leave.
Really, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to tell Miles. My father did leave, and he wanted to say thank you for all you've done.
No thanks necessary. I'm glad you two were reunited.
It's too bad I didn't get a chance to meet him. Or maybe that was better that way.
Well, he's coming back. He promised he would as soon as the Whitney Theater opens. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, he thought it would never happen. I mean, to see me on the legitimate stage, a star in a play, just goes to show you that dreams come true. Sometimes.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'll now show you the one, the only, the most important piece of evidence in this case. The knife that was supposedly used to kill... Name?
Danny Josephs.
Danny Josephs. Look at it. Line.
Look at it and hear it speak.
Cliff, that's the third time you've gone up on that line.
Then it's obviously the line's fault.
Well, what about the next line? Can you remember that?
Well, give me a minute.
Now, what are you gonna do, Cliff? You can tell the audience out, hey, hold on, folks, just wait a minute? What's the problem, Cliff? You had these lines down letter perfect last time we rehearsed.
Yeah, that was the last time. That was before the Wicked Witch of the Middle West struck.
Who?
Raven Whitney, the patron of the arts.
Wait, Cliff, what are you talking about? What did Raven do to you?
She got me fired, that's what she did.
From what?
The biggest, the most important account that I have, Phillips Industries. I don't even know that Sky Whitney owned it.
But how can Raven do something like that?
It's easy. You just pick up the phone and you say, hello, this is Raven Whitney, the famous widow. I own your company. I'd like you to fire Clifford Nelson.
She really did that? Why?
We had this disagreement, you see. Well, she called me in for a consultation about her husband's estate. He died without a will. It's a very messy procedure, and she disagreed with my ideas about probate, and I disagreed with her ideas about forgery.
Oh, Cliff, how long have you handled this client?
Well, it was Draper's, really. I just inherited it from him, but I liked Dan, he liked me. We got along fine.
That's a really terrible trick. I'm really sorry.
Cliff, can you manage without this account?
Sure, I'll just cut down to 1 meal a week.
Cliff, what are you really gonna do about it?
I don't know. The Bar Association frowns on you advertising in the newspapers. I'll just have to, go to parties, drop my name around, drum up some business.
Well, that really explains why your mind hasn't been on the play.
Yeah. Maybe this is a good time to talk. I'd like to discuss something with you before Mitzi and Jim and all the other people come in. Gavin. Dee Dee's been talking to me, and I'm beginning to think that she's right. Now, this acting thing has been the most fun I've had in a long time, but maybe this just isn't the right time for me right now to do this.
You're not gonna quit, are you, Cliff?
Well, I don't want to leave you stranded. I'll do the role until you can find somebody to replace me.
Cliff, we have your rehearsals at night.
Yeah, but now that's when I would have to go out and drum up business. And, well, Jim could play my role. He's a professional actor, and he's perfect. He's even been to law school.
No, Jim made it very clear that he is the producer, and that's all.
Oh, come on, Cliff, don't give up. Not just yet. I mean, we need you, and you're perfect for the role.
Yeah, it would hurt us if you left right now, but, on the other hand, I don't want to jeopardize your career.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say in showbiz. The show must go on.
Why?
I don't know.
Because you'd have to give back all that money.
Okay, you're right. I'm not a quitter. Survive. Now, give me that line.
Okay. Look closely at this knife.
Look closely at this knife. Let it speak to you, because it does speak. That's right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you're aware that there's a scientific test that they use to prove if a gun has been fired. Did you also know that there is a test, a laboratory test, used to see if a knife was used as a weapon of murder or injury? We're going to perform that test for you, right here, right now, before your very eyes. It's a test that was devised by a professor at...
I don't believe it. Look who is here. It's Cliff Nelson. And those two. Come on here. What are you doing in my theater?
Oh, Raven, I've been looking for you.
Did you hear me? What are you doing in my theater?
We're rehearsing, that's all.
Nancy Carr said we could use this theater.
That is ridiculous. She told me there was a professional company working here. You are all amateurs.
Raven, I've been in a professional theater for 5 years, and Jody was the lead...
She lied to me. She said there was a legitimate company here. She said nothing about you.
He is the director, and he's doing a great job, too.
I probably wasn't a member of the company when Nancy talked to you. I was facing indictment at the time.
Well, you should be facing a jury. You should be in jail for killing Gunther Wagner. And here you are prancing around my stage. I want you out of here right now.
Raven, cut it out. We're not hurting anybody.
For heaven's sake, stop carrying on like this.
Be reasonable, will you? You're not using this place, and we're putting it to good use.
Well, I'm putting you out of here right now.
Don't do this to the whole company when you just have something against me?
You are responsible for killing Gunther Wagner and for my husband's death.
Oh, don't be silly, Raven. Your husband killed Gunther Wagner, and nobody knows who killed Sky Whitney.
What do you know? You're just an unemployed lawyer. Now, I want you all out. And you can tell your friends that they cannot come back here. Never more.